Raghuvinder. And from your side, if you could have a quick round, just as this, ma'am.
Because I'm Chakrapani, retired from the IAS, and then presently
Yes.
the chairman of the Arts and Science College, Nasscom.
Right.
Then to my right is Dr. Rajani. She is a retired principal of Government Degree College, Begumpet. She is now the secretary of the secretary and correspondent of Andhra Mahila Sabha College.
Okay, sir.
Then to her right is Dr. Jhansi. Dr. Jhansi is from the Public Administration Department, and she is the in charge principal right now. And to her right is Dr. Karuna, and she is an English faculty member. She also looks after a lot of our academic activities. And then my assistant, who helps me with a lot, is Mrs. Geeta.
Okay.
Here is a young entrepreneur by name Ramya. Why don't you introduce yourself, Ramya?
So hello everyone, I'm Ramya. So I'm the CEO and founder of B2B Growth Boost company. It's a B2B lead generation company.
Okay.
So we started this 3 years back, and after three worst failures, we've reached a point where I'm running this successfully right now.
Okay.
So I'm glad to join you all here,
Awesome.
and with the help of sir.
Awesome.
And we have Dr. B.S. Murthy, Director IIT. Murthy garu.
The others can be on video, sir.
Unfortunately, my video
The others cannot be on
able to
video.
switch on. So I think the organizers are not allowing me to switch on my video.
Mr. Tirupati, if you could permit others to be available on video, we will be able to see the others also. Currently, it looks like their video is restricted, sir.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm checking.
Right.
I'm checking. Yeah. Got it, ma'am?
If others could also come up,
friends.
please. If others could come up on video, it will be wonderful. Then it'll be truly good to see everyone.
So good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for inviting us for this. And
My
we are
pleasure,
looking
sir.
forward to working together.
Yes, absolutely, sir. So, sir, if I could, should we start with your permission? Right. So, basically, I'll just give a brief about what we do at Nasscom, and then hand it over to you to ideate and articulate your requirements and to see how we can partner for a combined end result. So Nasscom is the National Association of Software and Service Companies. It's almost 29 years to 30 years in its being. It was started in 1989 or so. And then what happened was this association started with 5 or 6 people with Narayan Murthy and Infosys, Wipro, TCS, all of that small group. And there was a president called Mr. Devang Mehta. And they used to actually sit out a small room in one of their houses and start Nasscom. And then we took offices in various hotels. We used to have a small little room and we moved on. They started with a small investment of about 50 to 60 million amongst them. So like Mrs. Narayan Murthy sold all her jewels to basically make this. So every wife has supported. But this dream of selling India as the IT hub to the world was very new when there was no quality at all thought of. If you out of India, you never thought that there was a quality process. So when Devang Mehta with a small team worked on it, they said that they will be able to sell this dream, and they started the whole growth. But they said every 10 years, this is how we will grow. And there was a McKinsey community at the time which said, if you did and had this ecosystem in India where entrepreneurship as well as industry in the IT space should grow, then obviously you should be able to hit $1 billion by this time, and $500 billion and $1 trillion. Every milestone has been reached. So we are pretty confident in the way we work. So this ecosystem today in India, there is about 17,500 ITS companies, out of which 3,400 companies belong to Nasscom as members. So Nasscom is only an association where all these members come together. They pay a small part of their revenue profits towards maintenance. But what they do is this group lobbies for their requirements in the country and internationally, and gets business for our members. So we will see where are the areas that technology is going to grow and support our members to move. So ministry to ministry, government to government, we liaison and get members to actually get an opportunity to be able to bid or to sell their product. Right? So basically, this group worked more on services. That's called IT services as a subsector. Then there was business process management. Otherwise, before it was called BPO. Right? Now that BPO has become business process management, which has BPO, knowledge process outsourcing, finance and accounting, so customer service management, all of that. Then there was an engineering and R&D section. So where lots of engineering, reverse management and everything was being done. And the last was products. So these were the four things. Of late, since last from say 5 to 6 years, just before the COVID, we moved into an area called future skills, emerging technologies. So technologies like AI, big data, cyber security. It was there before, but now it become very important. Cloud computing, IoT, robotic process automation, augmented virtual reality, AR, VR. Then there would be areas like blockchain. Then you have areas like nanotechnology, 3D printing, 5G, Web 3.0, quantum, the list goes on, right? The beauty of this is now the tech industry has become a horizontal. We don't provide services or products or engineering solutions as an independent. It is always in combination with healthcare, with financials, with banking sector, with manufacturing. So we have become so technologically integrated that efficiencies on all these areas have increased. So two things have come up. The need for human resource with high enabled requirements has grown. Now the new technology is coming as generative AI, which means you're able to basically, what I would have a 20, 30 team of people to write content. I push it into generative AI, it gives me in half an hour. I have to only validate it. So how do faculty train students to live in this new ecosystem? Because what we are looking at is an educational program that served this country and the rest of the world for the last 300, 400 years. Now there is a new requirement. So one of the things is we are looking at the educational requirement of the future of work. So we think till 12th class, you train them. 10th, 9th to 6th to 9th is one cohort, which we are interested in. 10th to 12th is the next cohort. So formal education will last. This is only a concept which we are throwing through. Formal education will last only till 12th. After 12th, they basically have an awareness of all the emerging technologies, basis which they will be able to make applications. They will design solutions for problems. So if I'm talking of problems, you might think, no, there is a sewage problem. There is a flooding in Chennai every year, water retention, power outage, distribution of food grains, because there are actually enough if you properly redistribute. So MNREGA is also distribution of monies. It's not going to the right people at the right time, right place. Pharmaceuticals, food, cooked food, wasted food, redistribution. Everything can be analyzed with technology. Sewages overflow, actually that can be repackaged to actually give rise to chemical fumes, which can actually power some requirements. Car industry, which was 3,000 to 5,000 parts per car, is now only about 30 to 50 parts. The rest all is electronics. So everything is changing. So our educational program, we look after 12th, needs to move into a next area. People will be made as apprentice. They do interns. They will get into jobs. And while they are working, they continue to learn. They will have credit-based programs. And that's where the new education policy is built, is called the Academic Bank of Credits. So with the Academic Bank of Credits coming to play, if you have X number of credits, you can get a certificate, diploma, degree, PG, and you go on. So the beauty of that model is you're always relevant to the nature of work. Otherwise, you are locked into a 3-year program of learning, a 4-year program of learning. By the time you come out, technology has changed. So you are still irrelevant. So we are looking for teachers to now be more like mentors and facilitators. So edtech companies are taking the boost, but psychologically a blend is always good
Yes.
because responsibility for your own learning with children of that age is not high, you've noted. So what this industry has done is we are hugely now into services. Everybody's desire is to go into products and engineering.
Yes.
But if you look at how we earn, we own 347 members, which is 92% of the IT/ITS industry out of 17,000. The human resource and the revenue belongs to this 3,400. Out of this 3,400, top 200 own about 70%. Top 20 own about 45%. So therefore, what we give to you as information and our guidance always comes from the requirements of industry. So they are also in a tiz now, not knowing what the future of work will be.
Yeah.
Right? So we are trying to equip faculty first and then students to understand what is the capability of these technologies. Once you understand, you know the applications. That is where we are stuck at. So we are not upsetting the apple cart. And with respect to sir's request to Andhra Mahila Sabha, what is it that you can do now? So I would, before we give you a solution and a recommendation, sir, it's over to you to articulate and say what is your desire, your wish as a 2-year period, a 3-year and a 5-year period. The reason I keep to those things because 5 years, it's so large for us. We think almost 90% of the industry will change. So 2, 3 and 5 is a safe number. So over to you, sir, if you can. Any questions on this before we move?
So what is this length of the programs that you planned?
So they start with a credit equivalence map. So 30 hours is 1 credit.
30 hours.
Is 1
Okay.
credit. This is as per the National Education Policy and the National Credit Framework.
Okay.
So that's how it is there.
Okay.
So we have credit-based programs, non-credit-based programs. Non-credit-based will be 9 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. They're all journeys or learning pathways.
Yeah.
So to actually help upskilling, reskilling and skilling, these are the 3 things. So faculty and employees are either upskilled or reskilled. The difference is if I'm a IT guy and I move from level 5 to a level 7, I'm upskilling myself.
Yes.
But from IT, I want to move into agriculture
Department. Yeah.
because I want to apply drone technology into agriculture, precision agriculture. I am reskilling. So this is very important for faculty to know. So even if I look at dance teacher or a music teacher, I want them to reskill to learn technology. Most of the music now made is through technology, right? Dance is now also being choreographed using technology. So how do they understand the application of it? So it's a very interesting mix, but our educational program is not moved forward to ease that mix. So we are in a transition stage. The only reason we were very keen when sir said was other countries have already moved ahead 50% or more. So our dream was to say that India will be the talent hub for the world. So if that is to happen, schools and colleges, we should start. And we feel that the faculty would have a key role and then transition. That's where we are at, sir.
Mr. Murthy.
Yes, sir, you are
Murthy,
saying.
wants to-
Yeah, just one small clarification. The way a credit is defined is, I think it differs in a number of places. In most of the IITs, 1 credit course means 14 hours of teaching. If not 30
That
hours of
was
teaching.
old scenario, sir. 15 hours is theory,
So
30
only
hours is
IIT Madras
practical.
use, I know.
So
So
as
only
far as
IIT
you know,
Madras has changed it.
that is the what to say, it's mandated in the country that if you have a national credit framework, we should follow. If as a university under the structure and the governmental law, education is a concurrent subject, which means the state government has the rights to say yes or no to the national guideline. But why we urge that we should all follow the same is because if we have a certificate of skill, suppose I'm an engineer, but I have a skill certificate, say I have a program on generative AI. There are about 10 million such graduates who come out every year. That's the minimum. We are able to hire, IT is the highest hirer. We are able to hire around about 10 to 12% of that cohort year on it, and it will reduce because we don't need human resource. We are moving into a machine human interface. So what do I do with these people? So what we have found is when we did our research globally, that there are many countries globally which have an opportunity to continue with skilled humans. So we have pushed in the G20 positioning that we should have a floating digital workforce, and all G20 countries should recognize each other's certificates so that if I have a job opportunity in Korea, my AI certificate is recognized, they should offer me a virtual internship work. Basis which we have talked to the Ministry of External Affairs that there should not be double taxation in the salary. So sitting here, Andhra Mahila Sabha might use its offices in the evening to have employees who are students who are employees working elsewhere. You can take a small percentage of their fee as royalty. But then when they work outside, they will earn in dollars or pounds or ringgit or whatever, but there is no going to be double. They're only taxed once. So that is a huge direct investment into the country. This is the new gig economy, and many of the countries have been okay with this construct because they think recognition of the skills framework in India with others must be done. So we recognize each other's. This permits one country, we don't have human resource and blockchain. Investment in that state for that enterprise stops.
Yes.
Can I not hire some blockchain experts externally? So it's a give and take. One of the reasons the government spoke against it was they said in India, the standards outside are so high, none of our kids will get jobs. We will be hiring from outside. It's there. Other countries are also thinking likewise, that if I get India alone into the play, because there are so many young, they will not be able. But then the story came out, sir, is that these job roles, we set a standard, we do training, 6 months they're changing. The amount of investment required is huge. So the country's economic drive is not permitting investment of such high nature. So they said, somebody else is investing, let me take a pick of the lot there and work on it. In the interim, investment of that enterprise comes into my country, then there is enough for me to constantly upgrade. So this is a global problem.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sanjay, for the wonderful, very provoking, and in a way, scary kind of a scenario that we are now getting into in terms of our stagnant structures in the higher education. As you know, Andhra Mahila Sabha, of which I am now the chairman, Arts and Science College, we have courses in both undergraduate and postgraduate level. Most of them are undergraduates. 60% of our students are commerce students, BCom, with a significant component of data sciences, etc., computer, etc. That's now coming in. There are science students. There are also biotechnology students. There are students belonging to probably the BBA, and we also have some students belonging to the humanities, other arts, English literature, etc. Now
So
the
BSc, BCom, BBA, BA.
BA.
Then BCA.
Commerce.
No, BCA is not
So BCom, BSc, BBA, and BA.
right.
Okay.
Now we have, of course, two distinct streams. One is an aided category who are reasonably, in fact, they are very well paid. They are aided by the government. Their salary is paid by the government.
Is it about faculty or speaking?
I'm
sir?
talking with the faculty.
Okay.
About 8 of them are the faculty belonging to aided category. The rest of them who are youngsters, who are in their early 20s, 30s, etc., they all belong to the unaided category.
How many would that be? Sir?
That will be about 30. We have about 30 of them belonging to the unaided category. So the aided, those who are enthusiastic will train them. Some of them are past their prime, maybe their motivation levels are not very high. The unaided, who are now in the stream, they've just entered the college, maybe in the last 5-10 years, maximum of 10 years. We would like to give a very strong orientation to them, as also those who are enthusiastic in the aided stream. In addition, of course, I don't know how many of them have joined today's VC. We have a college of nursing. We have a college of physiotherapy. We have a college of law. We have a college of MBA. Fine arts is also there, yes. Education,
B.Ed.
teacher education. So these are the colleges which are under the umbrella of the Andhra Sabha. Now, we will certainly, as we go along, we'll take them into our fold and then try to see what kind of alerts we need to pass on to them, number one. Number two, in terms of the opportunities and the challenges that are emerging, how do we train them up? What kind of structural training do we impart online from either Nasscom or any other organization? Do you impart any training, or do we go to other institutions for this?
We'll centralize everything.
You
We'll centralize everything for you,
right?
especially on the emerging tech. That is
Right.
what we did with the Ministry of IT. We opened what is called, they helped us, it's a grant and aid, where a platform has been designed, which is AI enabled, but it does not design courses. It does not create any courseware, etc.
Okay.
There, what it does is it aggregates everybody's information onto the platform. And then we will funnel it back to you. So what we do is AI programs, we'll say level 1, level 2, level 3. So it starts with foundation programs, intermediate and advanced. We will also build small journeys for it. There is a diagnostic evaluation, and then you will be given to what you call deep skilling programs. Bridge courses are available. So this is for government officials, for faculty, for interns, for every employee, people who have lost jobs, all of this is meant to. So it skills, upskills as well as reskills. It provides a certification which is recognized by Government of India, which also is related to a placement portal. But if you don't want your people placed, it is only for an upskilling requirement in your own organization. So if you
So
have,
there is
yes,
also
sir.
another category,
Ah.
the non-teaching category.
Ah.
This what I have spoken of are the teaching
Teacher,
category.
yeah.
Those who belong to the teaching.
Okay.
The non-teaching category would be about those who are eligible for this kind of a training. Others are
Okay, sir.
merely doing very rudimentary jobs. Will be about 20.
Okay, sir.
And these non-teaching people are those who are working in office, maybe labs, maybe hostel, etc. They are helping the students. So we would like them also to be trained in this. I don't know what are the requirements of the other institutions. As we go along, we can aggregate from within the Andhra Sabha and take them on board. My one question is, are they going to be paid programs? If so, how much would be the fee?
So what we have is a group of paid as well as free programs, because we lobby with our member companies and many of them give it free. Right? Some of the programs which we have are aligned to this National Skills Qualification Framework. They might be from 2,000 to 20,000 to 60,000 to 80,000. The free programs, I will let you know straight away. So I give you that, the people can go on to the platform, register, but you can register as a cohort like Andhra Mahila Sabha itself,
Right.
as a group. So Sridevi will enable an MOU for you for that. They go on board. You can pick and choose the courses that you want. So we'll give you a plethora of all the courses under IT services, business process management, engineering, RA, everything, right? With the price points. You choose.
Teachers as well as students.
Teachers as well as students, right? But
Yeah,
you
we would-
structure it, madam.
I was coming to that. Teachers, students
Yeah.
will also be part of this.
Yeah, but what happens is there is one thing which has been put by the government is saying aligned, NSQF aligned. The moment a 300-hour program is NSQF aligned, it becomes 10 credits. 10 credits can be integrated into the college program. You can embed it. The moment you embed that into the program, they will learn. Otherwise, they will not learn.
Yeah.
So that embedded, that certification which you get from industry, that is Nasscom for you, is a value add for them in their CV when they go for jobs. So you can constantly keep yourself embedding more. You can put it as some of Anna University did 75,000 students like this. They did it as a compulsory elective. What compulsory elective means? You all have to do it. They put a
Yes.
3 credit 100-hour program,
The discipline, is it?
irrespective of the discipline.
Ours
You
is
have-
an autonomous college. We
So you can
we
do
have about
you can do that. But I'm
40%
only saying, yes, you can embed, say, this 3 credit program. And for this, the
Yes.
platform, enablement, softwares, etc. Most of the time we forward it free for you. We can enable that. But this 3 credit program, once they get that certificate, why is it called compulsory elective? If they fail, they have to do another elective.
Okay.
So that otherwise your degree will not be completed. It will be stopped. So embedding, that is the risk. So you be aware of it, choose wisely and do. So spend about a
For
month
students.
for students.
Right.
For faculty, you can use it as a part of the professional
Professional
development.
development.
You will say XYZ,
Yeah.
you have to do. So I give you the free, but there are also paid. Have a look at it. And your non-teaching, teaching,
Yeah.
put them through all of it. Because the labs themselves are changed now.
Yeah.
All my labs are now virtual labs.
Yes.
So he will not know how to operate a virtual lab unless he is able to do.
Yeah.
So him knowing, because these will become impediments for the students later. Students are far advanced. So I have a program called experiential project-based learning, because you might have some faculty and you have around about 2,000, 5,000, 6,000 students. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
This
because-
costs around about 1,000 rupees per student, all told. Platform we will provide, software we will provide, proprietary is online. We will give students problems. Student and the first student, will have, they work in groups of 4. One faculty will have 28 students. We train the faculty in advance. They will be mentors as well as evaluators.
Problem solving.
Problem solving. For that, they have to critically think.
Yeah.
Design thinking will come in.
Mm.
Problem solving, coding will come in. Then we will have, project management, because 4 of them have to manage the project. They have to document it. They have to present it. And if complete. Now that is the future of work.
Do they
This
have,
is what I have as a problem all the time. Anji madam.
do they have assignment based models also? Suppose let's say there is a weekly modules.
Ah.
So in the first completion of the first module, so there is an assessment. And that assessment is assessed by the peers or the whoever you mentioned as a teacher. Yeah. Yes.
Evaluation.
Because there are 28 students for one teacher, so it's practically not possible for one.
Everything is coded on the cloud. It's a dashboard.
Okay.
Nothing is done physically. So every bit of code that you write is
Mhm.
available. You have non-engineering students, but you have
Mm.
science students.
Mm.
Now, cybersecurity, 70% of the employees,
Mm.
pan India, are from non-engineering.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Got
they learn. So
Mm.
there are opportunities for BSc, BCom. BCom, I have finance and accounting,
Mm.
intermediate, advanced, all of those programs are there.
Okay.
I'll show you a list of those
Mhm.
programs for you to work.
Okay.
So future skills, we can get the students online, that is straight away. But for the other programs, either you have to hire the services of a master trainer who will train your faculty, and they in turn will train the students. So there is a time lag. Or you hire the services of a certified trainer who will directly come on board as an external teacher and train your students. That will cost. So
You have some certified trainers?
yeah, we have
in
certified
your book?
trainers for all of them. So I can offer those certified
Mm.
trainers. You can hire and do the business connection with you. But once the student has finished the training, we come back again to certify you. And that certification cost is the only cost that we take, because we are authorized under the government of India to certify.
1,000 rupees is for your certification.
No matter. It starts from 600, 800, depends on the NSQF level. The 1,000 rupees is for experiential project-based learning. That is a different scenario there, because we train the
What will be
faculty
the range of
themselves.
this cost of certification?
It starts from 800 to 1,250.
Okay, that's not.
So.
We have followed the government rules.
At the end of the course, you must pay in assessment stage.
Assessment, usually we collect it in advance along with your course.
Mm.
Many of the courses are freely available.
Mm.
Sometimes the courses are actually, you want a textbook. I have the digital copy of the textbook. You can buy the digital copy for lifetime printing rights.
Yeah, one more doubt I have,
Ah.
the course content that you're having on
Yeah.
the platform,
Ah.
how long is it valid?
valid for.
Hmm.
When you mean valid for means, will it-
How long I can access it?
oh, so that, so if it's a 6-hour program, 7 hour, it's there as long as the platform is there, is there. You have no
So,
problem.
I mean,
It doesn't shut down after
mm,
giving you an exposure of 10 hours, 20 hours, no.
Okay.
not
So
there.
usually companies have, edtech companies
Yeah.
usually have, because I have experience with one of the edtech company and I have upskilled myself there.
Hmm.
So they have given me a 1 year of access to the content that they provide.
Right,
So after 1 year, the content won't be available. If I
Correct.
have to learn again, then I have to buy it again.
right.
So it's that kind of scenario.
It's not there because this
Mm.
is with the government.
Anytime.
So they have, as long as the platform is there with the government,
Okay.
it's no problem. We are only facilitating it
Mm.
for the
This is
government.
the right time.
Mm.
It's the
Students
right
are
time.
stepping in now.
Yes.
First years are joining now.
uh.
So I think it's the right time to start some sort of free courses. First, let us start with the free.
Courses.
module.
Let me show you a
Yeah.
deck which,
What are those? A few examples if you give me.
definitely, Madam Ji.
One more thing is this embedding part. If it is compulsory, then will the student get a chance to select their favorite subject? out
You
of
can give a choice, no, ma'am.
choice? Okay.
So you can, instead of having
Already choice
3 or
based
4
is there.
credit,
Already we have choice based
Okay.
system of learning.
Mm.
They can choose
Choose their own.
subjects.
Dr. Sudarshan Reddy, Mr. Sudarshan Reddy, you want to say something? From Reddy College. All right, Mrs. Sushma Bandi, are you from IM Vizag? Okay, please go ahead.
Acha,
I just was wanting to give them an
but
opportunity.
will it not come be available on this?
No, no.
Cannot hear.
Can we
Yeah.
just check if they are able to see the screen?
Okay, I'll just. Are you able to see the screen, sirs, all of you, madams? Madam and sir, are you able to see the screen?
Yeah, I can see,
Should I-
ma'am.
Yeah, okay, thank you. You can see the deck, right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
So basically, we have split it into core,
Mm.
which is the usual industry where it's available.
Mm.
IT, business process management, IT services, engineering and software product development.
Mm.
Future skills itself is another subsector,
Yeah.
which is now opened up in
Fall and
this,
black.
all of these,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
And this actually cuts across all other industry sectors,
Mm.
whether it's agriculture, manufacturing,
Mm.
healthcare, banking, financial
Mm.
services, education,
Yeah.
per se, everything it's there now. So we move, what she has done is core qualifications. So
Ma'am,
these are.
sorry, ma'am, for interrupting. I
Yeah.
can't see your screen sharing, ma'am.
Can you please share the?
Sure, sir.
PowerPoint?
That's what I
We are not
asked
able
you.
to see it.
Okay, let me just do that. So I asked.
Sorry, those who are online are not able to see.
No problem, sir. My problem. Can you see now, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I can
Can
see
you
now.
that? Yeah. So I was just saying is
Yes,
that
we can see.
Nasscom has launched an education and skills initiative under its own wing. And we were officially recognized as the IT/ITS Sector Civil Council to bridge industry and academia, to help each other understand each other. That was done in 2012.
Mm.
And we continue with this. And we are also the awarding body to award certificates of competence in various skills for people who are satisfied. So here we have, as I said, 5 subsectors. If IT-enabled services is a sector, 5 subsectors are business process management, IT services, engineering and R&D, products, and of course, future skills. So just to take you, what we did is we curated some of the free programs for you. So one of the most important ones, which is at NSQ of level 4, right? Level 3, now it is brought down so as to be able to use, is domestic data entry operator. Everywhere, whether it's in nursing or healthcare, hospital, you have to first enter the data. So data entry, then customer care executive, because there's a lot of requirement of that. Customer care executive domestic voice that you are able to talk. domestic biometric data entry for Aadhaar validations and all of those validations, it goes on. Then it also has under the business, associate customer care, non-voice, associate, it keeps going up the ladder from level 3, level 4, it go up. Then you have FNA transaction, FNA complex, associate analytics. These are all hot topics which everybody goes for. These are all job roles. So when a job role means it is usually, though it is said to be free, look at the number of hours. Hours are large. Job
So it
roles
is
are all
free?
300, 400 hours. So yeah.
Pre-qualification for any of them?
What's it, sir?
Educational pre-qualification.
So
what's
they
the
would
entry?
basically, they have, sir, entry here will be about 12th class. Then you have first and second year because it is SQF 3. So it's available on the document itself because of late, the government has been very flexible. They're bringing this down because these are established core job roles. So when we started it, it was only graduates and postgraduates. Then it became second year, third year. Then it went to 12th class. Now it's going down further to 9th class. Then 6th. Because we are saying that these kids need to know. By the time I bring it to that level, before I was rectifying the process. Now I'm adding more and more complex things. So all of this is going down the line. So it was earlier NSQF levels of 4 and 5. It was 7. It became 4 and 5 now. That means younger and younger children. Now we want to bring cybersecurity and AI to 6th standard students. Because they all are using cell phones, watches. So the learning is happening. So unless they know what is the value of that, it is what. They're all learning a tablet. Abroad, 3 years, 4 years, they're only learning through tablets.
Yes.
So they're learning coding at year 4.
Now, the mobile phone, would they be able to access?
Yes, it's
Not
accessible.
Most of the
The
students. may
Future
not
Skills
have
Prime
access.
is accessible. These are face-to-face or a blend.
Okay.
So the teacher can do. If you would like to speak, madam.
These are typically the kind of courses where we train your faculty. And this goes as one of the subjects into the syllabus itself. And the classroom teaching happens, your faculty is actually teaching, and then we come back and do the assessment for the students who are completing these courses. So this is curriculum embedding. That's what Dr. Sandhya spoke about. Another set of study, which is self-learning, but guided by one of your faculty, that will be via the Future Skills Prime platform. So on that platform also you have courses which are suitable for your BCom students, BBA students and BSc students. So the entire set is available. Certain recommendation is also available, like who is supposed to be doing what. And this will be more focused on your final year segments. Because once they complete it, we will be also able to help them out with placements. But we don't want the people to start it only in the final year. In the first year, there is something else that they're expected to learn. Second year, there is something else that they will expected to complete. Final year is again job oriented.
So she will work with you in detail,
Yeah.
madam, she
Yeah.
and Raghavendra,
That would be
to
better.
sit with you and see, go run through all the
Yes.
programs and run.
I think we better take their numbers. et
Yeah.
cetera.
They will definitely be there. They'll handhold you for it.
So
So
these are for the
IT
faculty.
service.
That is our alumni, ma'am.
I know, she told me. That's why I said she must be here.
We depend very heavily on their emotional attachment.
So IT services, again, these are all job roles. So once they are certified, we usually have virtual job fairs. So we invite industry members from our side to interview them, to give them job opportunities. But the thing is, once they get into the job, they still have to continue studying. So if Andhra Mahila Sabha is able to offer people who are employed constantly upskilling yourselves, then you have a different revenue stream.
Yeah. Cons-
Because for us, before we thought if you finish till 21 years, you studies, you're employable for 30 years. No, you're employable for 6 months.
Yes.
That's where.
That's
very true. Yes.
And these kind of job roles which are there, especially the junior software developer and, web developer
So much
kind of
change,
roles.
Mm.
So these are
Devanta, we are
things
all,
which is
all of
more,
us are studying
suitable for your
courses now
BSc,
regularly.
Computer science,
Yes,
ASC
staff members can learn it.
can actually learn.
Any,
Anybody can.
all the staff members, we
Yes.
can. Go.
Yeah.
So you can ask them
Training.
what they're interested in.
Yeah.
Details about this input, what is the, like in your syllabus, you'll have topics, subtopics, details that are called performance outcomes. Everything is given detail. What is the curricula? What is the infrastructure required? Input criteria? What is the assessment pattern? What sort of areas will you assess? everything. So
Oh,
they
that's
can
a
read
two
that.
Credit programs is that.
No, this
Yeah.
will be more, ma'am.
The 390 hours, no,
390
madam.
hours.
390 hours. Then there is on-the-job training, practicals, theory. All of them is 30 hours now. Before you had, like you said, the 15 hours of theory one. All that is gone. Under the
Yes.
new national education, every type of learning is only 30. This assessment can also go as an apprenticeship into
But
companies.
each student can have only one certificate, course, I believe, for 3 years.
No, if a government is paying for it,
Yeah.
if the government is
Yeah.
paying for it,
So it depends on the time
Their
and
interest.
flexibility with
Yes,
the
sir.
student.
if the
has
government,
for
you
it.
can
Yeah.
get support from the government for one scheme, one,
140.
Yes.
but you
Correct.
cannot constantly
This is
get
like
it.
more.
Only 3 months semester for us.
Yeah.
So I think.
So the duration is a
duration,
challenge.
Yeah. and hours are
Duration,
also-
madam, the point
Yeah.
is, you now have to get them to work, holiday homework independently.
Yeah. During the holidays also.
There
we
is,
should,
see, because
yeah.
ultimately, if the organization like yourself has a responsibility to enable employment,
Yeah.
the learning that you have
It should be
offered was on a
continuous.
different promise.
Yeah.
The markets have changed, so I have to
Yeah.
enable that. Either he puts in extra hours, or you have to change the curriculum so drastically.
Yes.
As an autonomous body, you have full rights
Yeah.
to say what you want to scrap or what you
Instead
don't
of
want.
For 6 hours, we should
So
make
this
it 7 or
entire,
8 hours.
Madam, that's
Pure
also
online, pure,
what-
so this entire syllabus,
Concept.
no ma'am, when you go through the model curriculum, you can mark off certain things as self-study for them.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're expected to complete that before they hit into the classroom.
As an assignment.
And
we
then you can look
put,
at how much of this you
yeah.
want to put it into a semester framework and get it completed.
That we can
And
analyze
like
and,
rightly said by you, it is not a course that in the normal phase of things that, the time slots that we
Yes.
have, these courses cannot be completed. They are expected to spend more time on this.
another core. So we have only picked a few. These are on the engineering R&D.
Dr.
You might not.
Dr. Murthy would be interested.
Huh,
Yeah.
we'll send you this whole deck,
Yeah,
madam,
yeah.
from Sridevi will
Yes,
forward
sir.
it to you, madam. Then software law, you have engineering product develop, software development product. That's a hot one, which usually
Mhm.
goes through. So you can pick and choose and see where you can put it, pass it through your board of studies, and then make it a part. Then you need to advertise that you are actually doing
Yes,
this.
yes.
That's when the companies
Website,
of
right?
ours
Yeah.
will pass on that information. So they will
We
say,
need to
oh,
put on the
people are
website,
coming.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
But we need to reach out also.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
and Raghavendra
That
will
also
reach out to
I think you
people.
can, help us out.
So I will put future skills కొని చూపిస్తాను, madam. Let me see.
You can add our college name to
Yeah.
your website.
We can go directly to the platform.
ఇక్కడ మేడం this is the,
Future skills.
this is under
Junior
apprenticeships
software
we have
development.
for
Yeah, web
future
development.
skills software. Come madam, you do it.
Are you able to see our screen right now, which is on the Google?
Yes, ma'am. I can see job roles under apprenticeship. Is that you're talking, ma'am?
Yeah, we are now moving from that.
I'll
If
just
you go to
stop
the
and
next
share
slide.
again. ma'am.
Stop share, Jesse, then you go back. Okay. We're just moving to a new platform. We'll bring it to you.
It's a skills, no?
Okay, ma'am.
I hope you're able to see a web page right now, which
Yes,
is
Summer of
Summer of
Yeah,
Skilling.
skilling.
summer of-
Yes, ma'am. I
Yeah.
can see.
So this is the platform that Dr. Sandhya was talking about, which is built as a PPP model,
Mhm.
where Government of India through MIghty has actually contributed to this. The objective of this platform is to upskill, reskill, and skill the citizens of the country.
Mhm.
So when you say I have aided faculty, unaided faculty, and I have non-teaching
Non-teaching.
staff and my students, which are,
Yeah.
a very varied kind of a gene pool, everybody can actually come onto this platform, and every learner can actually find something relevant for themselves via this platform. Now, the working class, all the people, whatever be the working class they are, they're eligible for Government of India incentives if they take up a paid course on the platform and get themselves certified. For the students part of it, we recommend that they go through the courses and get certified, because these are 30 hours plus kind of courses and aligned to NSQF standards, we can allocate credits. So that's the advantage for the students also.
Because they're
And-
not given funds for students.
Okay.
They are given funds for upskilling, reskilling, etc.
So it's a simple registration process. Like we already told you, we will create a group for you and onboard all your students. They're expected to complete the sign up so that periodically we can share the dashboard with you. What exactly are your students doing, whether they're learning or not? What are they interested in learning? So these are things that we will get to see via this platform. I am just using my login.
Hanji, Hanji.
How many educational institutions are already on this platform?
We have it's a B2C platform. So I have about 1,500,000 people on the platform. Individuals on the platform.
Institution.
Institutions.
We have
probably
2,000 plus institutes. When I say institutes, I'm also talking about the large universities as well. So we have JNTU Anantapur, JNTU Kakinada, we have Amity University, like that. All the large universities are there, including VIT. And we also have Department of Technical Education and Higher Education's actually partnered with us. And they, as a group, they come forward and they add their students also onto the platform. I'll show you some of those groups also. And we are also working very closely with certain state governments. There are about 8 such state governments who are actually working very closely with us, wherein the directives are actually going.
Telugu speaking states, are they? part of
Yeah,
that?
we have Andhra. Andhra Pradesh is actually doing
Not
that.
Telangana.
Telangana, we have not yet progressed, though we did the, entire pitching and all. Very frankly speaking, things did not move over here, though we have the MOU which is signed up with Osmania University
Should I tell Dr. Karuna about it?
తప్పకుండా చెప్పండి సార్
they, yeah.
తప్పకుండా సార్ చెప్పండి సార్ MOU సైన్ చేసి కూర్చొని పోయారు.
ఫస్ట్ మన చేసింది
And చేద్దాం. కాదు, these are all parallel activities.
Yeah, you can always be a, showcase element. So, so this is basically a platform which is a self-learning platform. And any prerequisite is not really required. If you are articulative about the technology and you good with English, you can start, you can keep at your pace and go ahead and learn. But for certain courses, there are prerequisites which are there. When you open the course content itself, you will see what is the prerequisite which is there. Now, the research report that Dr. Sandhya was talking about, that called out that there will be 10 emerging technologies and 10 professional skills, which will be in vogue in times to come. And when the entire world is looking for digital skills, they need to look at India. That's the dream that we are actually taking forward. So
So
the,
the out of tea or coffee, ma'am.
Sure.
so things like artificial intelligence, big data analytics, IoT, cloud computing, cybersecurity, web and mobile applications, blockchain, robotic
So what I will
process.
do also, ma'am, is give you a deck which has got all of this in detail and also gives you free price points, number of hours, so you can,
Yeah.
and it's aligned or non-aligned. If it's aligned means you can put it as credit equivalent. If it's non-aligned, it's not credit equivalent.
Okay.
But companies like Red Hat, Cisco, Microsoft, all of them also make their programs, but each one of them have now to align themselves to NSQF. So it's time
I don't think
consuming.
even they have had the time to prepare a perspective plan in a changing scenario.
So that, because now every alignment again has to go to NCVT, that takes time. So much of the work is that they offer and then they're working at the back end with us to get it aligned. So in the interim, we also do mapping and to say, okay, this program is at level 5, level 6. So it's a lot of work that's happening at the back end. And at one end, Nasscom is working internationally for the recognition of these certificates, because we know I will have a surfeit of trained people. I don't know where to place them.
So coming,
Yeah,
sorry.
please go ahead.
So completing this certificate course, tell your members will come and.
Yeah, I'll
placements
explain you
or-
the process.
Second year.
Yeah,
I'll-
after-
No,
after
I'll
placement,
explain you the
There's a
process.
placements.
There's a
placement-
built-in
placement.
placement.
Members, many members.
Career
are there,
portal ఉంది మేడం.
Microsoft and
దీంట్లోనే
all.
career portal.
చూపిస్తాను నేను మీకు
Come
ఇందులో.
down and then.
Yeah, it is available
us
and I
to-
will show you how it
Come
happens.
down, రారు మేడం.
Many
Online.
members
It's all
virtual.
virtual, madam. It's all
Everything is
virtual.
now virtual.
Right.
So you must be able to actually
Connect to them.
speak,
Yeah.
talk, showcase. Because somebody comes to me to say, I do some personal training also. They come and say, I want a job. I said, what job? Where are you interested? With technology? No answer. Go and read up about the technologies and come back. Oh, I've read this. Many jobs are here. Many jobs are here, but is it your interest? Are you interested? What job do you want? So I said, go to the website, look at the job, see what they're asking for. Are you eligible? Are you interested? Apply. Said, then you come back. Madam, this level also the students don't know.
Yes, yes.
Teachers don't know how to guide them. Counseling later.
That's the main thing.
Parents don't know. Mere immediate ka Microsoft. Microsoft is not going to grow. For us, our thing says 20, 30 years, we are working 50 years down the line. Madam. 2047 is India will be 100 years and 2050 is our goal, next goal post. According to that, 35% of the growth, sir, is coming only in the small and medium companies.
Correct.
The so-called large companies will not be sustainable because they have enough, because we don't want, youngsters nowadays want to join green jobs. You won't even have bothered. They want to know whether this company values ethics. I mean, they are into that nowadays. They say, I'd rather not do a job. And then the type of job, madam, you are 30 years working, you will work in one company. There's nothing called job loyalty anymore.
That's that.
So I will work in 5, 6 companies for a particular project and I will run my own entrepreneurship project. That is the future of work. It's already started. So we are asking our people. So even now, all of us don't have to come to the office. We can work from home. So we trust them. But next thing we are going to be able to open is you don't have to have loyalty to one company because we cannot give you employment for that project for so many years. So it will be your skill based. You're skilled in a certain area, that skill you will advertise. They will use your services. It's a global advertisement. Therefore, global certification recognition is wanted. You will get a 5-star rating. Next fellow will ask you. So an individual will apply to companies globally.
Who gives the global certification?
That's where we are now looking at who gives it. So nobody is willing to give a global set because that means I'm curtailing everybody's freedom to do what they want. So we had huge arguments where in the G20, so UNESCO has agreed to launch the platform because all members of G20 are members of UNESCO. We said we will harmonize or compare our skills framework to there. So I will say I have got 10 points in my job role. One job role I've virtual visa. So it's a virtual onboarding that is going to be the new offshoring, onshoring. Now it's all virtual. Sir. Then they will do a background check, IP. So now your laptop. Before we never used to let people will come with CDs and all. Now you are trusting the individual. You bring your own laptop. 85 lakh laptops over 3 months we sent home, sir. During the COVID time, a fast path. That to run on a trust economy. So a lot of change, interesting changes that you will have. I give a different facet. She will give you this. Right.
So
keep going, sir.
when we come back to the platform,
If any of your members have some laptops which can be spared, we would like to take.
Well, they already are there, sir, or are spoken for. A Nasscom Foundation it goes into. But I will ask the, they have the internal teams here.
We are starting the data science. We need immediately some 50 computers.
Sir, yeah, they're all outdated.
Oh.
Laptops need to be high-end now.
No, yes.
GB size. Bandwidth is required is a minimum 5 MB.
Nice.
So old laptops and it's all outdated. Cell phone is getting outdated in 7 years, sir. So if we have to be on top, we have to move. No, that's why we are changing the business model, madam. Now is people who sell like your what to say, Airtel, Gitel and all, they will sell you the package. You don't have to buy a device anymore. Abroad, you don't buy a device. You get a device from the company where you buy the Airtel bandwidth. Because this changes so often. Over to you, ma'am.
so coming back to what can a learner expect via this platform and what is going to be the learning span? So one is basic awareness about these technologies because people do not know what are these technologies, where is it applied and all of that. So that's something that people will learn via these pathways which are there, which are half an hour to 40-minute kind of duration. And to the point that you were asking, Ramya, how do you evaluate and all? There is a knowledge check at the end of each of this. You go through the content and there is a quiz. When somebody is clearing the quiz, they get.
So the digital badge can be linked to your LinkedIn profile.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Right.
I'm
so
just taking
immediately-
you to the profile. Sorry, let me just. Right, if we just go here,
So it'll tell you all the
and
stuff that
I
you
have
done.
something called a skills passport. This is a repository of all the learning that an individual is, done, and you will find the skills passport having a repository of all the learning that somebody has done.
So
Okay.
the
At a click
hire
of this
goes-
button, this goes on to LinkedIn. Yes.
all the hirers look at this nowadays. So if you have a guy who's got 90% in BCom and I have got somebody who's 70%, but this, I'll prefer this guy.
And the concept of continuous learning, which is
That
a
is what-
very, very important thing. You will demonstrate how constantly you've been learning. It's just not going to be enough that today I get a job, so today, day after tomorrow, I will sit and learn, or maybe yesterday I sat. So this actually demonstrates the seriousness about an individual for a particular job or a technology that they are choosing. So coming back, so these are basically
So
the
platform
badges.
offers you a skills passport. So that can be reviewed anytime. It is on LinkedIn. Then there is a career portal where you link up to virtual employers.
Correct. So you also have 40 hours duration courses, which are called as foundation courses, and job roles that Dr. Sandhya was talking about. Like, let us say somebody is learning artificial
Is there
intelligence.
No other variation between 40 to the 300 and 400 hours of work.
Lots will be
So
there.
you have 70
She just
hours,
blocking-
there's 120 hours. So all of that is also there. So let's say somebody is doing, artificial intelligence. There are 10 job roles within artificial intelligence. Can I be a data annotator, which is going to be the ground level work? Can I be a data scientist? Can I be a BI person? What can I be? Everything has a different competency. Basis those competencies, which are called as NSQF levels, we have defined the programs which are built up into this. Those programs are free as well as paid programs. So we can share the entire content catalog, which is also available on this platform. People can pick and choose. Certain guidance is actually required to be provided by the departments, heads, and your college team. So, and these certificates, when somebody has completed the certificate, they will automatically be going into a portal, which is actually called as our career portal. You were asking about placements part. So the minute somebody is certified on a foundation course or a deep skill course, they have to come and register on this career portal, upload their certificate also over here. This is like matchmaking happens.
NPTEL, if you notice, 600 or 700 NPTEL programs, again under government, run by Ministry of IIT Chennai headed. That's also available here. They are also part of the program, right? Because it's actually funded by MIT. So NPTEL is there, SWAYAM is also there. So all of these programs join together.
So that's something which is available.
No, all the private universities have already opted.
See,
for
madam,
this.
SWAYAM is every
Yes.
teacher uploads what they want. Where is the quality check?
Quality check is it.
So what's the point?
So another
different guidelines for uploading the content. National
Guidelines, is the madam. What I'm saying is, there is
Adherence.
one
Evaluation,
question.
evaluation,
When you have 10
okay.
million people graduating and only about 1.2 lakh, don't you question what the organization is doing? They're totally outdated. Madam. So the problem in India is, if you have that outdated, most of my companies here itself are finding themselves out there. They're all many global companies. They're starting new things. Now they're starting on EV. Now EV will go by 2030. I anticipate no fossil fuels. 2040, I anticipate no water. By 2050, I anticipate an overpopulation and food shortages. So we are seeing problem solved. Where are my engineers? What am I supposed to do? How will transportation be? How will housing be? People are saying there's no need for property ownership. There's no need for wealth accumulation. Survival of the fittest is there. So survival, how will it work? I don't need these many people, madam. That is my problem. Companies of the future don't need these many people. So there will be a whole host of humanoids, which are robotics. Already this is in place. Learning is now, sir, with Professor Miko Kachu, he is basically uploading textbook digital directly into the brain. I'm downloading data from the brain directly into my CPU, GPUs. So it's a collective data. That is what ChatGPT is doing. So where is this going into my schools and colleges? It is missing. All the quantum computing, all this innovation is coming from international universities. What are our universities? There's no R&D. Faculty don't even know about all of this.
Yes.
So my thing is, sir, is we need to regurgitate so fast. Otherwise, we'll be a lost tribe. That is where our whole passion is coming into this.
Right.
So we are saying at one end, how do we catch up with the rest of the world? The other end, how do we outsource? But surprisingly, 70 to 80% of all the Silicon Valley innovation is done by Indians.
Yeah.
That means if they have the right ecosystem, they're able to do it. We are not providing the ecosystem. Mana, if I'm looking for laptops, etc., you're looking for second-hand. It is not. You have to give them the best in the world. That's what is there. So, Adi choose the
Now, also, if you want to do these,
We are starting-
also we should go to high-end computers.
Absolutely,
Isn't
madam.
it?
I can't do with the law. See,
No, no.
ఇప్పుడు నేను tool ఇస్తున్నాను, madam. I give an IB. I sent this at Anna University. He has to code online. While you're coding, there is an error you make. Teacher does not know enough to correct you.
Yes.
So system corrects you,
Okay.
right? I don't have to use only Java or C++. I can use a host of different technologies, whether it is MySQL or what do you call it? What to say, C++ or Java or any sort of new tech that I have, I can integrate it and code. So my assessments on cyber are like that. I gamify the assessments. Meeru questions asked, what is cyber security? What? I don't give a damn. Reason because that information is available on the website.
Yes.
I need to know how you think to problem solve. All your data on the cell phone, madam, the moment you make a call is recorded and sold. How will you actually give a problem solution? How will you code so that you own your own data? Data is the new oil, madam. అది ఏం చేస్తాం సార్ ఇప్పుడు? That is what I'm saying. Next, my companies are going from handheld devices to embedded devices. Embedded devices will still use voice and recognition and pics. The next is thought processes. So telepathically you talk, then whatever you think is actually open data to others. So this is the level of problem solving I'm having in colleges. I'm saying, where is my faculty helping in these programs? That is where we are at, sir. We are totally outdated. So anyway, you are here for a solution. This is an interim piece that we are doing. It's far cry from what is required, but these are baby steps. Let's move on.
Apart
Anything else?
from, taking clue from, all the technological advancement which is happening on one side is, yes, it is happening. But what will happen if our people are not professionally skilled enough to, actually go ahead, talk about the technology or design think what they are actually doing. So that's the reason why we have these bunch of professional skills also listed out over here, which are again the self-learning modules that the students can actually learn and get certified from. Effective communication, design thinking, product management, project management, creative problem solving. Like Dr. Sandhya was saying, there is so many problems which are there. Now, the problem with the learner today is identifying the problem also is a big issue for them. They don't know. And, when we talk to the companies, they say, okay, if I call 10 people and I give them a problem, and if I ask them to code, they will code. If I ask them to execute, they will execute. But I just throw them open and I say, figure out what is the problem here. They are not able to do it. So there's a lot that needs to be done, on a professional aspect, even on creative problem solving abilities of a learner also. And collaboration and teamwork, because that's very, very important when they come into a gig economy. Then we are also talking about continuous learning. I was talking about it. Digital leadership, which is very, very critical right now, influencing and negotiation. So these are professional skills which our learners are also expected to learn. Another question, sir, that you were asking is, how do we create a group and all of that? So I will just quickly take you to groups which are there. Some of these groups that you will see are listed out over here. So groups where I am monitoring are the ones which you are actually seeing. Otherwise, we have a lot of other groups which are listed out. As I was saying, we have,
Is already there.
yeah, there's hordes of students who are already trained and certified from AppShape. So we have all of this which is happening. Now, specifically coming to your BCom, BBA kind of students. So we, along with a certain set of BPM companies, we have curated a content which prepares a person for a job role called associate level. Okay, so that's a 30-hour content. A person is expected to go through this 30-hour BPM course, which is on various domains again. So if I'm talking about it, so there is a finance and accounts, there is insurance, there is banking, there is BFSI, there is e-commerce, there is healthcare, all of this which is there. So each one of this is a 30-hour module. End of it, there is a certification exam that they're expected to clear with 600 rupees. And when they clear it, we will be able to let the industry know that in so-and-so college, these many certified students are available. If you're looking for associate job role people, here is your talent pool. So that's how we can actually let the industry know that this is there. Now again, going
Certificate will be issued by Nasscom.
Nasscom and Mighty.
Ministry of IT logo.
ఇక్కడ ఉంది కదండి ఆ పైన logo ఉంది కదా. So that will be the logo that you will
So
find.
internationally recognized.
No,
This is
international
national.
recognition, they're trying,
We are
Yeah,
trying.
right.
but nationally, yes.
Nationally it is.
Yeah. And let's say you want your students to learn something about how to face interviews, these kind of additional things.
Yeah.
Everything
Skills.
need not be taught in a classroom. If they are,
Self-
well versed
yeah.
with how do you explore things, they can actually find all of that over here. So we can create a group for you and, add your students over here and also share all the details and, people can actually go ahead and learn. Now, for all your faculty, the last but not the least point that I wanted to let you know is the Government of India incentive program. So faculty can actually pick up the courses which are available over here, get themselves certified and go ahead and register themselves via this platform, upload their certificate and apply for it. There will be a check which will be done and then there is a DBT which happens, direct benefit transfer to the concerned person's account. So there is no other intervention, nobody coming and checking anything. Everything happens online, virtual over here. And another thing about the assessments, like, while most of the things were already discussed, these are more, like Dr. Sandhya was saying, it's more of a scenario-based kind of a thing. I may be an expert in cybersecurity, but I don't know where to apply this, knowledge that I have. So if I give you 2-3 scenarios, an individual should be able to think
Pick up,
and say, okay, out of the 10 things that I know, the second one will applicable here and the third one will be applicable there. So those kind of scenario-based assessments are there. Unless and until somebody is proficient enough on the subject which is actually available over here, clearing the assessment is tough. So because you are going to put this as part of the syllabus, you should also know what is the seriousness of a learner completing this, because you are giving marks, right? So we want you to be, very sure of the kind of an output that you are giving once the student is completing the course. Similarly, we would urge all these courses, like there is a data
We can
science
have
for
a
beginners.
partial implementation. See, not all students of BCom may want to do it.
Correct.
They may want to, maybe 40-30% of them. We can tweak the syllabus for that 30%.
Yeah, you can do.
You can
stuff.
do it.
There is no problem.
Because not all of them would opt for it, you see, given their own.
Then they
levels.
can, you can also tell them they can stay home. There's no need for an education. They're unemployable day one.
Correct. You see,
See, it's
I mean-
sir, what I'm saying is, we tried this option route. We are in a bad state in India. They don't understand that only once they go through it a mandatory. If something is good, tell them it's good for them.
No, we'll
Push
tell
them
them,
in that.
nevertheless, you see.
No, sir, but actually, though you will do it, one is an operational challenge. When you have a batch of 60, you have 30 people choosing one, 30 people choosing other, its uniformity is not there and it is going to be operationally a little challenging. Second, once they complete their graduation, what are they doing? They're again going, sorry to say this, but they're going into smaller institutes,
To learn the
open
safety.
shops, and then they're spending 6 months to 8 months of their time and double the money or maybe 3 times the money that they are doing over here. At times, I think it's very important for academicians to take a hat and say, I, like a parent, I need to nurture what is really good for you. You do not know what is good for you. So probably that's where the mandating part actually comes.
Because it's very critical to get this in place, ma'am, because we are on a time lag. Sit on seat, no problem. What I want to show you is give you an idea of jobs, right? Where are we?
New share, stop share.
New share, no, stop share. Go back. I don't want to go back here. Let me go back to document here. Gold Andhra Mahila. Because one thing we do constantly is research, sir. And research nationally, internationally. Where is this document? Why it's not opening up? Close to it, very close. Yeah. No, why is it opening up here?
Stop share.
I need to start again. It's share. Yeah, now, right. Can you see, sir, on the screen there? Are you able to see the slide? People on the screen?
Yes, ma'am, I
Yes,
can
sir?
see. I can see, ma'am.
Okay, right. Let me just take you to a few critical slides. Because, sir, that question you asked through me, because you have no choice but to move this. This is my human machine interface today. In 22, 34% is machine, 66% is human. 27, I have 43, it's moving up. And then I am investment in learning is what we are looking at, right? Business expected big data, I'll take you through. So we did our international studies the world over, the same requirement. So if they don't know AI, they're useless, literally useless. That's why I said, if you give them a choice, when they don't understand, they're going to be redundant. They're going to be a burden on the country. Literally, that's because we don't have enough dole system to actually help them through. So what Sridevi showed you on this is about various aspects of courses which address this requirement, design thinking, etc. We said learning about it is different from doing it. So we put a scheme together where it was paid by the government of Tamil Nadu for Anna University with IBM and Nasscom technology. We gave them 50 problem statements for a group of 75,000 students, 6 semesters. Having said that, they were broken up into small groups of 4. Faculty, 3,000 faculty were trained over 2 hours online by IBM. Right? Platform we offered them has basically got all the software free of cost for them, because I'll get it from my member companies. You have to basically choose a problem. As a group of 4, project design using design thinking principles, 10 marks, innovation, problem solving. Is this any part of your evaluation metrics today? No. Then I don't have a job for them. So what we did was, having trialed it in Anna University through the government, we took it to the higher, Mr. Chandrasekhar and to Ashwin Kumarji, who were the ministers, and got it introduced into the national education policy as an approved methodology of evaluation. So we want to do away with all the old exam papers. This is a hackathon-based evaluation. It is globally evaluated, right? Hackathon, I actually have to use this. I have to solve 100 hours, 3 credits, 4 months. We showcased it, and now it's running to various governments are actually very interested in taking this on. Then we asked, how do I incentivize teachers to continue with this? So we have told the government of AP this process. Teachers are certified on any of these programs. Once they're certified, please permit them to teach out of Andhra Mahila Sabha, say for example. So after office hours, you teach anywhere you want online. Use the laptops, rooms of Andhra Mahila Sabha. Inform the committee so that you give a percentage share of your salary outside to the Sabha. You give a percentage part to the government to affiliate it if you want. But then, because of that certificate, you are now able to teach anywhere. I have got Indian ladies who are teaching English in the UK.
Yeah.
Right? So this is the only way I can incentivize them. If you tell them, oh, student, you have to show them the money. If I look at Harvard, Yale, Tech, anywhere, all of the teachers are permitted to have IP. They earn royalty. They launch entrepreneurship. Why are we so scared of letting our teachers go? Because we are letting employees go now. We are saying, go work anywhere you want. My project is over. It's for 6 months. I don't have to give you salary for 10 years. You go look for employment elsewhere. Faculty internationally are paid only for 9 months. 3 months, they have to look for their own. So these points are coming in. So in preparation, if you're interested in this model, where you actually walk the talk, we'll bring it to you. Right? So that is one, sir. Then the other one I wanted to show you was on, this is AP engagement. Let me just show you some slides on jobs alone. I wanted to show where we are moving. Because this, we had a 10 to 15 hours discussion with the government.
15 slide.
Slide 15.
15 one.
Oh, your my battery is running low. Get one. Make it a slide 15 now. Later, I did one jobs. I think it's in the next show. Huh. Yes. It's a very interesting slide. What is it? It's gone. Huh? Dead.
Yeah.
So this is where most of the school, full stack developer, Android architect, Java developer, backend engineer, all of this was there. Right, all of this was there. Now already emerging areas, new job roles, future looking job roles have come. We are already offering you data annotator, blockchain, block specialist. She will share this with you.
Yes.
What you can basically do is, what you are saying, we are already there is only emerging scenario. You have to be building for the future. Then is where you have a brand and you do the service.
Is there in our syllabus?
Tells Madam Garu. And Idi put you, later, Madam Garu, this is what I'm showing you today. 2 months later, I'll show you something different. That is my problem.
But since ages, the same thing we have studied.
So we are saying the theory and all of that is good to go. Application, thinking of problem, Adi later. That is what we need to do.
No, we cannot integrate anything, just a pure science here, pure things we are learning.
How many
that's all.
colleges are there now that the APSI has taken it up in AP?
The entire higher education, all the 14 universities,
I see.
all 14
Students?
universities are there. Uh,
From AP.
from AP alone,
Telangana, apparently, there's no.
It's a money
There's
problem,
there's a
sir.
small
They
problem.
say it's whether you want to pay, you don't want to pay, that is a problem.
No,
They
there
want,
are a number of free programs, aren't there?
see, but not
600 rupees
necessarily
they have to
if it
pay
is,
for assessment.
even for
now.
assessment, they have to
Only
pay
for
600, no?
దానికి
No,
కూడా
that 600 is nothing.
They don't think like that, no, sir. 600, 40, now they told me there are 45 lakh school students. Where will I get 45 lakh requirements?
People
Free,
clearly
ka?
No, but
Now
at
it's
least for the
clearly
professional
we
programs in
want
the
to
colleges,
What is
paying
the basic
600
thing
is
the
nothing.
college must have?
the student can be
That is
asked
the
to do
thing
that.
it is.
Everything they'll say, get me CSR. My company says I have to also make a living. Nee, nee, akkade CSR testa. You as a government have an obligation to see that your citizens are, what to say, have lifelong learning capability. Adi lede, sir. What was good before, it's different. Now you're saying you need to learn languages. I will give you a Google glasses and just we need 2 years more. If you look at English, I can see Telugu. If I see Malayalam, I see it in Chinese. If I speak, I have a voice translator. I will speak in English. It gets translated to perfect language. So our technology, sir. Everything I'm paying taxes for international fellows to get it. Why is it our people are not doing? Well, labs, level.
Computer and dance.
Okay.
That anyway, that's a problem, sir.
Yeah, but how do we move forward?
So one thing,
Next.
having heard what you have, what is your take? What is your, because one, I would again, like, whatever your intention, you want to do free, when you touch your faculty, they have to be skilled and certified. Okay. Second, there are free courses available. You need a laptop or a tablet for your students, because if you want them to do after hours, they'll have to do it at home. So one of the solutions we gave others is get a company to give you on rental basis. So then you use it and you return it.
Yeah.
That is
That's-
one.
that's an
Then you
option.
get the latest laptops or tablets you get. At least the student will get.
How-
Then
how-
there's no.
How are they, I mean, in terms of
Per year.
rates, etc.?
You have to find out, sir. Whether they find
Right.
out. Yeah,
Per day, so much they take.
No, not.
There must be monthly. Untadi, or it might be number of hours, or
Yeah.
depends on the bandwidth you have utilized.
Leasing
Some leasing process you'll have to look at, Madam Dean.
will do.
If otherwise, the other one which we told the government is also is you make the first time payout. Because if you do large contracts with Dell or Microsoft or HP, etc., they'll give you cheaper because you want 40,000, 50,000, 60. And then monthly EMI students pay chip itself. You collect 200 rupees per month. The fact that they own it, they will keep it safe. Wherever under service,
Can take it afterwards.
then they take it afterwards.
Once they
With
take
3
it,
years,
then-
they are your own. 3 years anyway, the life of the laptop is also gone.
Yeah, of course.
So that much. So 3 years you have bought it in initial investment, but you are getting the return for them. No.
Yes.
So with the banks, you can do automatically every month on the school fee or college fee, it automatically debits. And ayipotadi. They will not mind it. They will get the best. You will be able to run the latest.
Now, can we know who are all there? I mean, in terms of IIT, and if they have any questions?
Who is this? Sir?
Okay, from the online.
Online.
Okay, let me ask them, sir. Anybody on the online? Any questions from your side, sir?
We will certainly take it up, number one.
So one is you look at the job roles. So from your takeaway, Raghvinder, one is to give them the list of all the
What
job
are the
roles
basic
on
things
Future Skills
college
Prime.
must have? Is internet you said, and then the tablets or the systems.
Ah.
Is that-
Bandwidth.
If we are talking about integrating this
Mm,
into the curriculum, that's the mandatory requirement. Otherwise, if you want to go ahead with Future Skills Prime, then everybody needs to have a smartphone.
Smart.
Minimum.
This is minimum, but
Mhm.
ideally, because there are assessments which are going to be done, for that you will anyways require a, laptop.
Mhm.
So it's better that you create a lab,
Mhm.
which is having a 100-seater or a, 150-seater kind of a lab,
Mhm.
where everybody will come use and
Most
go,
of our
whatever.
computers are desktop computers,
Hmm.
almost all of them.
Manaki,
the
see,
new
madam, the
laptop
point
is-
is the future of work. If these kids have to go to work, you are not giving them an exposure to this requirement at all. Are they outdated, madam? P4s and all
Colleges
won't have.
only allow
So,
this.
just one example which crosses my mind in the recent, one of the board meetings, only it was discussed. All the students who are coming from diploma background, they're all doing typewriter even today.
Yeah.
Okay,
Shorthand
they
test.
complete it, and then they're expected to go and work in a company.
Company.
Now, the minute they come to a company, there is no typewriter there. There is a
Computer.
laptop. Okay, as students are struggling. And the organizations are questioning, what is this capacity? How did these people get certified? Now, what we are getting them trained vis-a-vis where they are going to go and work, there is so much of a change.
Yeah.
And that's exactly, that gap is going to be 4 times, 10 times when we are talking about emerging tech being, learnt on a desktop.
Madam, the
mode or-
biggest investment you all can do is get rid of your P4s, get the latest high-tech laptops. Every classroom must have a smart board. So that when you work with the teachers, it's a blended mode of learning.
Yeah.
Students are asked to actually design things, solutions, rather than you tell them this is how it should be done. The problems of the future are very different. So they need to do, and then we actually ask for evaluation, which is pan-India. So we would say you have to make agreements with other universities globally. So faculty from those universities will actually be teaching you online. See, that's the only way. That's how the IITs jumped, no, sir. They have each one had an international partner. And that's how they jumped to the level of the international partner. So you have to do that. If you go to lovely university in Punjab, every second teacher is from abroad. So their outcome is so high. Nowadays, laptops now is like saying paper and pencil. It is
Yes.
as you can't question that requirement. It would be better if you all take a loan from a bank and see that the kids get it. But otherwise, it's not a service to the student. Because everywhere I'm going, I'm stumped with this one problem: infrastructure requirements. And when you're streaming real-time content, it's so slow. It will
Yeah.
cut down. The kids are losing interest. And the same thing you will say, oh, somebody who's well-to-do, they have it all online. So how do you compare this thing? He will be stuck in that poverty line the rest of his life if you don't give him this opportunity of infrastructure. Very important. And it's not a choice of 10 or 20 or 30. They have to do it. Everybody has to do. So that was one of the requests that we do. So what we'll do from our side is we give you the, somebody has asked a question on chat. Sure, sir. So one of the things that we require, sir, basically is we'll give you the list because you have this access. She will give you the Future Skills Prime Connect. We'll also give you the list of all the job roles that we have and connects to where you can go and look at those job roles. So you'll see the detail. But we would like to see some timelines from you, sir. Like we say in the next 3 weeks, that if you're going to have students coming into college, what are the programs you're going to offer so that you advertise it? Because what happens is we put a lot of effort and it comes to nothing. So we would like to see that something has come in, that this interest gets settled. That's one of the humble requests to you, sir.
Sure.
So if you say, okay, we have 30, 40 faculty, they will go into training, 30 hours, say even 1 month, they're trained. Whichever job roles they identify and they have certified themselves, we move to the next level. And all these courses that you have, again, are theoretical, somebody doing it. Unless you do it, you don't practically do it. So one thing you will give on experiential project-based learning. Raghavinder, we'll send a slide on experiential project-based. You know enough from Madam. She will do that. Then future skills, she will know. And then job roles, whichever you like, you can identify. So one of the things that you can do is you have a student committee or something,
We have.
right? So what is the aspiration of the students? They're very different from your aspirations, madam.
That's right.
Looking to book the jobs.
No.
I am not looking for any, if somebody says that, no, I don't even hire that person. He wants to create jobs. That's what I'm looking for. Lady Madam Garu, it's a truth. There are no jobs. I'm telling you frank on. There are no jobs.
Starting an entrepreneurial development program with the Silicon Valley firm. It's starting on the 6th for 100 students.
So I will give you, I have enough jobs, entrepreneurial efforts in India. I don't have thinkers. So what we have done is experiential project-based learning.
Right.
Any project that they give solving the problem, which is unique, it is viable. I get venture caps to actually come and invest. And the state government is opening that out as a entrepreneurial effort in the university campus itself. So any student who finishes does an internship, apprenticeship in the new company. So that's a China model. Around any university, all the small and medium companies and startups are growing. It's like a hospital and a teaching medical. You don't have medical center different from a hospital. They are one and the same. That is what we are looking for now. That's a
Now
new
you
model.
realize why I'm asking for the database.
Itla undal, madam garu. This is the thing. Otherwise, మన చేసిన service
I
was very good last time. ఇప్పుడు అయిపోయింది ఆ కాలం.
Basic knowledge, good ideas.
So now,
అయ్యో మేడం, you won't know. ఎంత ఇండియాలో జుగాడు ఉండేది. I don't have my laptop. I need a motorcycle to move. He wants to take 10 people from his village to the petrol pump. కట్టమన్స్ ఉంది కదా, కట్టమన్స్ he put 4 wheels ఒక మోటార్ పెట్టి పెట్టాడు. He puts four solar panels. He took the bicycle. He put a third wheel. 7-8 people. I'm telling you, no other country has much innovation. But if I have to make that as a product, I need to have people to sell the idea, to launch it, document it. Business, ease of business is very hard in India.
Yes.
So much corruption. So how do you make these people work? So that is, so you have the Shark Tank, kada? Adimari, all your students must come up with ideas at the end of 4th year, which is your entrepreneurial program, which is your project. You teachers will not evaluate. You call industry to evaluate them, no? Every year, 100 startups like that we innovate. So we cast them, we give them a 5 minute pitch.
Hmm.
Either sell it, otherwise I don't like the idea.
Hmm.
But at least he's thought for himself, madam.
Hmm.
If you go look around, everywhere I see a problem.
Hmm.
We are now looking at architecture, just for info, where they are building little rooms and houses, no kitchens.
Hmm.
Kitchens will not be there because they don't intend to cook. It is everything Uberized. So I went to NIT. NIT offered me a menu. There is rasam sadam, right? Everything there. Where what he did, he has got 20 houses where women staying at home.
One kitchen.
20 houses ki, he said, what are you cooking today? Yedo dondakai, birakai, sambar. Inka extra 4 chain madam. So every house he has Uberized 4 lunches, which come to the office. Health of the people has improved. He has got it at a low price. He is giving basically an entrepreneurial effort to all the women around. Nobody will buy cars. It will be Uberized again.
Yes.
So this is how it's moving. So what do I need with my mechanical engineer? Because I am telling you, madam, level madam, she will be very grounded. Level is I am actually talking about 1 trillion billion cells in the body. Each one is having 0.14 volts of energy.
Mhm.
So the research we are doing is, why don't I energize my own vehicle?
Okay.
So this is already going. So people like Elon Musk are funding all these things. మనకి డబ్బులు లేవా మేడం, ఐడియా లేవు, మీరు ధైర్యం చేసుకుని చేయండి మేడం.
Hmm.
It's not that you will have to make a leap of faith and take it forward. Sad
And
is there.
Probably you need to also look at, in the current scenario, if no other graduation college in Telangana is at that place,
Hmm.
why can't I be
I
that
be
first
the
person
first
and,
one to step in.
showcase that?
That's how we are.
Looking at you, 10 other colleges should follow.
Yes.
So you should be that role model institute.
So whatever you say, sir. So these are the basics that we can
Right.
offer. So that's 3 program: future skills, normal job roles, and then we have is experiential project based learning. They do this. Meeru looking the job roles, see the price points, etc. You will let us know whether you want the free courses or fast courses. But what I would look is for a date with your team, sir. Actually looking to what you want is Andhra Mahila Sabha 15 to 20 years down the line.
Hmm.
What is your vision?
Hmm.
Because then we can build a structure around it. Because you are now catching up.
Right.
But if you have to put a leadership, because these are the same questions we ask our industry.
Hmm.
What do you want to do 15 years, 20 years down the line? I asked the same question to every state government. AP Garo at the Welte, I said, where do you want to be as a $1 trillion economy?
Did you meet Mr. Hemchand already?
They're all safe players. I'm not looking for safe players. See, safe is mana life అయిపోయింది అది. But my problem is most of our older folks, I come into the category, don't realize we'll live very long. The foundation laid by our forefathers is dragging us to this level. Another 30 years, you'll see a different world. We will live long, no employment. That boredom is another killer, sir.
Not knowing what to
Not
do.
going. So you wouldn't believe when we are planning in the global, లేదు మేడం, global place లో అన్ని పనులకు we are having robots, everything. అన్ని ఉన్నాయి. But when that is there, they say, what will I do? This is enjoy. How much will I enjoy every day?
ఇప్పుడు మామూలుగానే వీక్ లో we work 5 days and then you have 2 days holiday. You take another 3rd day extra as a holiday, you don't know what to do. How much will you watch TV? How much will you
Yeah.
go out? Over. After that, what? From 11 o'clock onwards, you will
Yeah.
start feeling, I mean, what the hell am I doing? I mean, let me
Because
just
now the
go
new
out.
TVs are that you will just have it like a torch అండి. అది you can use any wall. So ఎక్కడ వెళ్తేనే టీవీ చూసుకోవచ్చు మీరు. So entertainment, media and entertainment, మీరు ఎవరు మాట్లాడలేదు దాని గురించి. Media and entertainment is a huge business.
Yeah.
And in media and entertainment, I have AR, VR. I have learning through AR, VR devices. మీరు ఆ లెవెల్కి వస్తే I'll take you to a next level of learning.
Hmm.
Because AR, VR devices, I actually can feel the
Hmm.
experiment.
Hmm.
I can interact with the experiment.
Hmm.
Learning is 6 times faster.
Okay.
A pilot goes and learns to fly a plane. You put your life in his hand.
Practical
How does he do it? AR, VR.
Yes, isn't it?
He
But
learns on an
virtual-
AR, VR device, no?
virtual
A
labs.
stimulation.
Yes.
And you put your life into and you're going abroad.
Hmm.
So what stops you from learning how to do things? Welding niche I can do through AR, VR. Madam.
And it's not that our students do not have the capability. In some time back, I actually visited Vijayawada and one of the degree colleges. Students did come forward and displayed their project work on these AR VR devices. So, I mean, it was really heartwarming to see that, you know,
So,
they're
but,
not even able to speak
yeah.
good English.
but
they're
the
able to
product,
do that.
I've seen so many of this, ma'am, because one thing is all your faculty must actually contribute to research.
Yeah.
And the research must be a commercial venture. Salem's small areas I have articulated. The faculty there now, they have been told and mandated by the chairman, every one of you must have one research paper per year and at least one in 2 years must be commercialized. They are now selling with their students spare parts to ISRO. They have got a surfeit in Coimbatore, they have a surfeit of what you call artichature. So they have actually analyzed the sap of it and found out with the chemistry teacher that it is an adhesive far better than the existing adhesives of color. And Coimbatore is a textile base. This is what you can do, ma'am. You are studying on paper and passing a paper. It doesn't give a mixed difference to us. Application, madam. Teacher, you have no job in my place unless you give me a research paper. And the research paper must give me a commercial venture. Otherwise, why? While salary, at least they must earn as a research outcome. No? ఎవరు చేస్తున్నారు మేడం ఉన్న టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ అదే రీగజిటేట్ చేస్తున్నారు Like madam, you have the power to make the difference. That's what I'm saying.
ఇవన్నీ మా చైర్మన్ సార్ రోజు ఎలా పెడుతున్నారు ఇంకో చైర్మన్ చూస్తున్నట్టు
No, you'll find me one of the roles she said, no, we are an influencer. So I will now have the opportunity to influence her. He at his time was a dynamic person as Commissioner Collegiate Education. But our time, we put Maripin, madam. We have to move.
So we'll move forward now.
Yes, sir.
with this two,
So when do you want them to give it this to timelines, Chapan, madam?
టీచర్స్ కి ఫస్ట్
no,
Let's go this way.
Yeah.
First, we will send you those job roles which are there. the
Monday,
Future
madam?
Skills Prime platform.
Monday, madam?
yeah.
So Ravindra, put out the
Note
minutes
this
of
one.
meeting. Say who are the people who are present, especially chairman's name, and say there were presentations on future skills, presentation on job roles at various respective levels, faculty development and experiential project based on. These are the 4 things. With Sridevi work, you ask me whatever you need from me, give them all the info.
What are those four things?
Future skills prime. Then you have future skills prime, madam. Then you have job roles. Because their future skills prime does not give you a job role person. It's all programs of learning for awareness, deep skilling, etc. Certifications of competency. It is that. A job role is a mix of competencies.
Yeah.
So that was the job role one. Then you have experiential project-based learning, which is actually doing what you learn. It's a different event because that's linked to entrepreneurship. Sir. Because ma'am will talk to you later because we need to know how to roll up venture cap. Because if these kids come in, they need to
On
know how to
Monday,
learn a business,
what the
how
staff
to rotate an
We can
IP,
send you all that.
how to register, what is the business, because here it's promised by the secretary, I'm sorry, the minister IT. In 15 days, you can apply and you can get an entrepreneurial effort on the road. So he's promised that. So we will use that line. Because we need that entrepreneur, they need job creators. Once they get the hang of job creation, they'll always be employable. Because there are, because your sir is asking laptop konare. What stops you from buying spare parts and assembling your own laptop, madam? కొనుక్కోండి మీరు స్పేర్ పార్ట్స్ అసెంబ్లీ చేసుకోండి. You've got non-technical fellows, no 20 people. వాళ్ళందరూ అసెంబ్లీ లైన్ లో పెట్టి చేపించండి మేడం. Students, give them, ask them to do every weekend, assemble one laptop. So we'll show them. It is after all like they play Lego bricks. See, I was just keeping quiet to see what you will give me as solutions. Anyway, madam, I only will tell you, lead you to the water. Every problem that you find, bandwidth associations. Now there is a small college in Tamil Nadu somewhere. They are creating their own energy from kitchen waste. They're creating their own energy from solar winds. Pillale kattundare solar panels. Pillale wind channels chesundare. They're not supposed to use even in the hostel anything but which has been generated by them. What stops you from doing that? So this is what I'm looking at, this a revolution in the education process from a theoretical to an actual practical requirement. Madam, Kanjivaram sarees, CAD CAM నేర్పించి, what used to take me 3 months to design, what 3 hours to chef. Why don't you teach the children that? Why are you teaching them CAD CAM as a process? Show them how it is being utilized. Chira, all that being natural Western, everything is now computerized. Designing is computerized. Open up small labs where they actually can do this application. This is how you got to think, man. You got to think business. That's why I'm very happy ma'am is here. Basically, at the end, if you have 2,000 students, I want to see 2,000 entrepreneurs at the end of it. But I'll tell you the problem. They do not know how to start a business. You must know where to go and apply. What is the financial loans? What are the problems when you take loans? How do you go from series A, B, C? What do you do? This is what you do. Here in the V-Hub, T-Hub,
yes.
T-Hub, there's a women's section also.
Yes.
You help this money.
Going there.
But if you
Taking
say
with
that
children.
your program should go entrepreneurial, then you are a done deal, madam. Educational institutions will not survive another 30 years. They have to become hubs for entrepreneurship. Close case. Excuse me. Hello, yes, sir, I did.
So BA వాళ్ళు ప్రస్తుతానికి they can get into cyber security as one of the things. There are some roles which are there in cyber security, which is audit, governance and all of that. So those are things that these kids can do. And BA, generally they're getting into retail sector or these kind of places. They can learn a very small program called data science for beginners. This is something which is a recommended program for your students coming from a BSc or even BCom for that matter, if they want to get into analytics as a side. So this will be a definite,
Digital marketing.
digital marketing is also there. So cybersecurity is there. You can, UI UX designing is there. If they have that creative bent of mind, so they can go ahead and look for UI UX design. It again depends on what is their urge. Maybe as a BA student, if they want to go and work in a BPM company, they can do that BPM course, which is a big thing. So once we send you all of this,
Yeah.
you
We'll
can
Determine.
go through the entire 3 proposals and you can look at which is the low hanging one. Where do you want to make a beginning? Let us know where is it that you want to make a beginning, and we will come back and tell you how do we take it forward from there on. Now, if we're taking future skills prime as one of the key things, then you should ensure that there is a mandatory course recommendation which is given to every student, and you timeline of 45 days to 2 months to complete the course, get certified and come back and submit the certificate in your department. That otherwise there is no way that this culture of learning will be built into that.
The
If you
thing
think
about embedded, madam,
Yeah.
is that they don't get their degree if they don't finish
Yeah.
this. That's very
So
important.
that's where I said you mandate it in as a compulsory thing. And then if you're going in for the job roles part of it, that 400 hours, 500 hours kind of a thing, please let us know. We will pick 1 or 2 job roles and identify about 20 faculty for each of this thing. We will send 1 master trainer, and that master trainer will train all this faculty. They're expected to complete the training, which is actually done by the master trainer, and we go for assessment. They are supposed to clear 2 assessments. One is on the technology that they have learned. Second is on teaching pedagogy. Skill learning and skill teaching are different. So they should clear both these exams. And out of the 20 bunch that you will select in such a way that there is a cream layer also available there. Because if they don't score 80%, they are not passing. If they're able to score 90%, we declare them as master trainers. Let's say another XYZ college comes up and wants to adopt the same thing, your teacher can actually go ahead and go teach them. So that will be if you're taking the job role part of it. Experiential learning part of it, think about it. How many students will be there who will go through this content? How much of time you will allocate for this? There is commercial element there. What is it that your students will be paying for it? And let us know accordingly. We will check what are the existing companies who can come forward at, whatever is the price point that they are charging. We will have to negotiate, we will have to see. But the company will be interested only when there is a large number, because otherwise there is no impact metrics which is getting created. So you will have to see that you have a large number coming in there. Then any of these three things that you're doing, check your infrastructure. So that's again a very, very important thing. Parallelly, while you check your infrastructure, mandate all your faculty to register on the Future Skills Prime and get certified. First, they should be the role model. If I go and
Do we
tell,
have tablets which are not as expensive as laptops? Which can,
We'll have to do the research, sir.
I mean,
Now there are so many dime a dozen outside. So we don't know. because-
maybe some of them are available, like in
they will be
Kerala,
available. They will be
10 to
available.
15,000 rupees, etc. Maybe
I'm
we
sure
can-
they'll be available, sir.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Uh,
Kerala, they had tablets.
So most of some of the places I have seen that government actually is investing and, distributing these tabs. Those are not very costly tabs, but they're very
Yes,
efficient and
yes.
effective. So maybe there's some research that people should do as
Yeah.
who is selling this and all of that. And only when you procure in bulk, you will get the better pricing. So
Only
that's-
one problem I found is whenever government was giving, the student was selling it off.
That is
Yes,
another,
reception.
that's
Morning
also
is
there.
there, afternoon they're selling, because they don't understand the
Yeah.
value. So unless they pay for it, that's the
Mm.
reason why I say you
You have
make
to
a
ask the
budget
student
for
to pay.
student to pay some amount, at least the maintenance of it, the aims must be given by them. So it's very important for them to have ownership.
Yes. Yes. Because if you're asking a student to go ahead and do a self-learning course,
Learning, of course, even then they.
and if
rate
they're
their
stuck,
assistance, yeah.
if they're stuck
Yeah,
anywhere,
yes,
the
yes.
first
Yeah.
place they will look for is a faculty.
Yeah.
And if the faculty says, I don't know, then the game is lost.
If they are trained in one job oriented role, they can help them in
So the
any.
first-
No, that particular.
They-
one.
First deadline is you will by Monday will give us. We'll get back to you maybe by Saturday after that.
Sure, sir. It's your
And then
timeline.
The dialogue.
Yeah.
the effort will
Take it,
start.
sir. Yes.
Thank you, wonderful.
My word.
So teacher
interaction.
training and student training both should start simultaneously.
No, that's.
We actually start the
Depends
teacher
on-
first,
The
First
teacher
the
will
teacher.
start first.
and then the master trainer would comes to, they have their price points.
Mm.
They charge a certain amount because it's a 10-day program, but we don't interfere. That is, we don't take any royalty from our side. We'll offer them to, we only come in for the certification at the end, because we are only authorized to give. And the license is for an X number of years. They have to get 90% in each of the papers, madam teachers.
Yeah, that's it.
So, thank you.
Great.
Wonderful meeting
Thank you so much.
Sure, another round. Not at all.
Your hard
Thank you
work.
so much,
Thanks,
sirs, all of
everyone.
you. We are signing off.
Thank you.
No, you should have said no problem. Just signing off from now.
We are finding ourselves nowhere. now.
Well,
No, we will find.
Probably you're seeing the light and you will make that baby steps right now.
It's amazing to see you that active and involved in the future. Right,
really,
Eric?
we position ourselves. We are influencers and change agents, ma'am.
It's amazing.
So that's what we do.
Ma'am, closing the Zoom meeting.
Sure,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.